Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophia Camarda if you're new, and today we're going to be recapping the WWDC keynote from today. Apple did do a live stream and they revealed a lot of different software, so let's just get into it. These are the topics that they covered. The most important thing being Apple Intelligence. This is their version of AI. They smartly named it Apple Intelligence because the acronym is still AI. So this was like their biggest reveal. Then they have iOS 18, iPadOS 18, macOS Sequoia, watchOS 11, and then visionOS 2. So let's go check it out. Firstly, we have Apple Intelligence. They did a lot of different stuff with this, so let's just get into it. This animation that you're seeing here is the newly revamped Siri animation. They made it look completely different. Siri's acting like a whole new bitch because she just got so much smarter and she's gonna run the world basically. Some of the features of Apple Intelligence include the new writing tools. This is gonna help people to write blog posts or emails. To be honest, all the writers just lost their job because I shouldn't laugh, but literally like this is going to help so much with writing, even like essays and things. Honestly, a lot of the updates that Apple talked about today, I was just thinking of how students these days probably have it so much easier now that there's all these different features out. You can generate images, which honestly look really creepy and I hate them. They have Gen emoji, which is like you can create a custom emoji just by describing how you want it to look. This is what I was talking about with the images. I don't know what the hell this is, but I hate it. I can't stand the AI images. They freak me out. They all look the same. This literally looks like an ad for like a Facebook mobile game. Like I just can't with this, but Apple's gonna be doing that. They talked about personal context, but also privacy. So they're saying that even though their AI is so smart and it's drawing data, they're only looking at your data and they're not sharing it with anyone. Honestly, I don't think tech is private at all anymore, but I appreciate the fact that they even tried to make it seem like it's private, but that's out the window, especially with AI, in my opinion. And here's just all the examples of how their AI is going to be used. It's across all the devices. There is a list on their website of the devices that are going to be supporting AI, starting with the iPhone 15 Pro moving forward. It's cool and it's very impressive from a tech standpoint, but this honestly is just like a new era, honestly, in tech where the robots are taking over and it's a bit overwhelming. So here's another example of the writing tools. It can rephrase your emails to make you not sound so nasty and it'll make them very HR. So there's that. As you could see here, you could put friendly, professional, concise. There's priority notifications, which is helpful. It'll kind of determine which notifications you need to see. Smart replies. This is another example of the images being generated here. Again, I kind of hate it, but there's that. I like the Genmoji, but I'm just not into the AI images at all. That really freaks me out. Here's the start of a new era for Siri. Siri is getting a complete revamp. Now when you use it, the screen will light up with this little rainbow thing around it. She's basically just smarter. She sounds a little different, and she just got a whole new revamp. Apparently she understands when you're stuttering or if you're being redundant. She can kind of read in between the lines now. You don't need to be so exact with how you ask her things like this. Again, focusing on the privacy. Throughout this keynote, they were very focused on how everything is private. To be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because I'm not an AI professional, but they said they invented their own Apple AI servers that you can feel safe with, and it's only collecting data through their cloud. I don't know. It's just a bunch of confusion to me. Then they showed how they integrated ChatGPT. If you pay for it, you can access some of the paid features. Here's a list of all the devices that will be compatible with their Apple Intelligence. I could go on more of a tangent about this topic, but overall, this is a new era for Apple and tech in general. The fact that they have their own artificial intelligence now and they are adopting these features is going to take all the Apple products to another level, but also like because Apple is so big, this is setting a new standard moving forward and we will never see tech in the same way. And this was really like their biggest announcement today was the Apple Intelligence. This is quite literally just the beginning. They are going to be adding way more. There was a part in the keynote where they were like, oh, in a year from now, we'll have even more features, but that's literally because they're going to be gathering your things for a year. to make more features. So there's that. Let's go back to the normal stuff though, because honestly, the AI stuff just kind of freaks me out a little bit. The next biggest announcement was iOS 18. So here's a little bit of a preview of how it looks. Again, it's going to be using Apple Intelligence on the iPhone 15 Pro and any phone after that. They really focused on the customization, which I actually love because Apple products are known for not being that customizable. So now you can do custom app colors, which is so cool. They made like these little red icons, which is cool. And you can rearrange your apps to go anywhere you want now on the home screen. They're not going to automatically go in like a predefined order. Here's a look at how you can customize the apps. Again, I freaking love this. They also have a new feature where you can lock apps or you can hide them. So say you like give your phone to someone and you don't want them going through your phone or going on certain apps, you could do that. I think that's really nice and does add some privacy. They updated the control center a lot, actually. There are new controls and it just looks different in general. Here's what the new controls gallery looks like, and we love that. You can also reorganize them and resize them, which is cool. And even on the lock screen, you can customize these now and do different controls. And if you have the iPhone with the action button, you can reprogram that as well using some of the new controls. So I think that's awesome too. Photos apparently got the biggest redesign ever. This was long overdue, and I think the Photos app actually looks so much better now. So I love what they've done here. They made it into one big screen rather than different screens and albums. It's just one Photos view, and then you can kind of cycle through everything throughout that one view. So you can go by topics down here if you just scroll down, and then your favorites are now just if you swipe to the side, almost like an Instagram slideshow. As you could see here, you can go through your different albums like that. So I just think this looks a lot better. Messages, I have been wanting to get an update for a long time. It's not everything that I've been looking for yet, but it is looking better if I'm being honest with you. They added new text effects and also text formatting. As you could see here, you can do like little effects on your text like that, or you can do tap backs and do like custom emojis, kind of like Instagram again. Then they have this new option where you can send messages via satellite. So say you don't have cell service, you could do it through satellite. That could come in handy one day. You can schedule messages now to be sent later. They added rich communication services. So now if you're texting with someone that doesn't have iMessage, you can still get some of the iMessage features. For example, you can see if something is delivered or read now. So we love that. Their mail app is also getting a huge update. So now they have all these different categories, which look really nice. It's kind of like Gmail and other mail services. Now they have like a primary section, and then they also have messages that are grouped for scanning. So say you have a boarding pass or something like that, it'll automatically organize it. There are some Safari updates. So now they have highlights. These will give you important information at a glance. There's a better reader as well. They came out with a passwords app, which I actually love so much because I hate looking through my settings app and trying to find the password section. I love that they made it its own app. I think that's so much more organized, and I think this is going to be really useful. Here's some updates to the map. Now they have all these trails within the map, and it'll show the landscape. So this is really good for if you do hiking and spend a lot of time outside. Then they also added game mode to the iPhone, which is nice. It's going to work like any other game mode. It's just going to prioritize the game that you're on and kind of like offload any background apps that are running. Then for the wallet, now they've added tap to pay. So if you both have iPhones, you can just tap your phones together and you could pay like that instead of being like, oh, do you have Zelle? Do you have Venmo? Or even doing the Apple Pay through the messages. This will be so easy. You literally just bring your phones together. You don't need to text or anything. And it's just simple and easy and rich. It's rich. Now, AirPods have an update too. Today they talked about new gestures. So if you get a call, you can just like shake your head yes or go like this to say no. And it'll either accept or decline the call just by like sensing how you move your head. They have voice isolation on AirPods Pro, which is awesome. I love this because I make a lot of voice memos. A lot of the time the wind will mess up your messages. So I love that. For notes, they're going to do live audio transcription. If you type out expressions, they'll be solved directly directly in the Notes app. You can collapse sections now, which is nice. And then also you can highlight. So we love Notes app updates. I love the Notes app. The journal also got some updates. So now you can put like how you're feeling within the journal, as well as some different insights here. And then also you can search your past entries, which I definitely think these were all really needed features in the journal app. They did some other updates too, as you can see, like to Apple TV, the Home app, privacy and security, and just a bunch of other things, honestly, that I will scroll through. But those are the biggest updates. Here's a list of all the devices that will support iOS 18. And honestly, I'd say this is a pretty good list. By the way, the public beta for this and all the softwares come out in July. And then obviously they will come out for real during the fall time when all the new products come out. For example, the new iPhone. I would not recommend updating to the beta unless you feel like risking your phone or dealing with bugs. I've personally never had a problem, but I wouldn't recommend it if you don't feel like dealing with some random bullshit. Just something to know. Then let's go to iPadOS. So they announced iPadOS 18. Now they did just release new iPads last month, so I was kind of hoping that the new iPadOS would kind of like cater to the new iPads. However, it doesn't seem that different, but let's just get into it. So this is iPadOS 18. Now it does bring all the same features that we already talked about, like the Apple Intelligence and things from iOS 18 into the iPad. We've got their Apple Intelligence as shown on iPad. The Notes app also got some updates. Again, you have the live audio transcription. The calculator finally got added to iPad. I don't know why in 2024 they're just now doing this. I don't know what took Apple so long to put a calculator on the iPads, but they've done it. And honestly, it goes off. They added something called Math Notes, which I wish I had in school because I was so bad at math. You could just write out a math equation and it will literally solve it for you in the calculator app on the iPad. In general, this is what the app looks like. I kind of wish that they made it look a little cuter, but I appreciate that they at least added it to the iPads. Here's the customization, same from like the iPhone. You can do the custom app covers now. They also have like dark mode apps. I don't know if I showed that previously, but you can like adjust your apps to be dark when you turn on dark mode. So that looks really nice. Again, locked and hidden apps. Here is the control center on iPad, which looks really nice. Again, the Photos app gets an update on there as well. So here's a look at all the messages updates. Same stuff, same with the game mode, same with Safari, same with the Passwords app. It's literally all the same stuff. Then they have SharePlay updates. So now you can tap and draw in screen sharing, remote control in screen sharing. Then here's some updates to Freeform. So as you can see here, you can use scenes to share your boards and also share it with your friends. There's improved diagramming. So now things can like snap to the grid and look a little bit more organized. Apps on iPad. So they redesigned the tab bar in the apps, as you could see right here. And then there is an updated document browser. So that's how that looks. Again, the AirPods updates, privacy and security updates, and so much more. So here's all the devices that will be compatible with iPadOS 18, as you could see here. They also talked about macOS Sequoia, which is brand new. I love when Apple does Mac updates, and honestly, this one looks really good. So let's check this out as well. Again, it's taking a lot of what we already talked about, but let's go through it. Apple Intelligence. This is honestly the coolest thing that they announced about the new macOS is called continuity. So now you can screen mirror your phone on your Mac, but it's not just a mirror, it's also controlling your phone. So you can literally have what you see on your phone screen on your Mac and use your phone like normal, but through your Mac. Even if you don't have your phone next to you, you can use it just the same as if you had your phone in your hand, which is honestly so freaking sick. This is one of the most impressive things from the keynote today. Again, this is something that I was thinking like students in college are gonna go crazy with this because you can basically still use your phone without having it out. I don't know how teachers are gonna get around this, but that's not Apple's problem. Clearly, they are not concerned. But I think that is so freaking cool. And it's really useful if you do content creation because they had an example where they had Final Cut Pro and the iPhone right next to each other and they were dragging and dropping between the two devices. And it's just so cool that you are able to use Mac apps with iPhone apps right next to each other. Like for example, you can move files, photos, and videos between the two just by using that screen mirroring thing, which is sick. It's so sick. I don't know how they even did that, but it's so impressive. And it's more impressive to me how simple it looks to use. And that's something I just love about Apple. They will execute something so well and make it so easy at the same time. And like, we love that. So I think this is sick and I cannot wait for this feature. Airdropping is a thing of the past once we get this on our computers. Also, you can now get all your iPhone notifications on your Mac, so it's just even more seamless now. This is kind of like not as impressive, but they are adding tiling now to your windows. Honestly, PCs have been doing this for such a long time now, but Apple does it too. So there's that. Here's a couple other features: presenter preview, and then also background replacements. So if you want to hide like what's behind you, these are more small updates, but they're cool. Here are the Safari updates that we kind of already went over with the highlights, the updated reader, and then also more controls over web videos. So we love that too. The Passwords app, they did have a section where they talked a bit about gaming and how Mac is getting even more adapted to gamers and supporting more Windows features. I appreciate that, and I think the whole story of how Macs are not for gaming is becoming a thing of the past. So I really appreciate that, and we love to see this. Again, they've got the messages, maps, notes, AirPods, and so much more. Here's all the supported Mac models that will run macOS Sequoia. It's looking pretty good, I would say. I think Apple's killing it right now with the Mac category. Then we've got watchOS 11. As you may know, they are going to be coming out with the Apple Watch 10 or X this year, most likely. This is a very important update. It's not too different, honestly, but they did add some cool things, so let's go through it. I love the Apple Watch and I love fitness, so this part gets me really excited. They added the ability to pause your exercise rings. Say that you know that you're going to be taking a break for whatever reason, you can now pause them and it's not going to record that you didn't like do any activity. You can adjust your rings for every day of the week, so now it's not the same goal every single day, which I think is nice. You can customize your summary on the fitness app, so now you can see the metrics that matter the most to you. They have a new app called Vitals, which I think is sick. Now you can look at your typical heart rate and all your health data all through this one app, and it basically keeps track of your health and just making sure that you're staying healthy. It's not the most exciting, but I do like it, and I think this will be very useful. They also added something called training load. So this, you can now track your progress from a fitness standpoint. You can rate your workouts and say how much effort you put in and how hard it was, basically, and it'll kind of keep track of your performance and just give you a better idea of how you are progressing from a wellness standpoint. You can track your effort, as you can see here, and then you can also see if you are overdoing it or underdoing it. I think this is kind of funny because honestly, like, I feel like every day I'll just be putting, that was the best I've got. That is the best I've got, but I still think that's cool. They also are low-key putting AI in the watches too, because now it's going to look at your photos and scan them and let you know which are the best ones to use for your watch face. Personally, I don't like using photos for my watch face, but I can see a lot of people using this feature and it just makes it look nice for you. They've added some updates to cycle tracking, so now they have a way to keep track of your pregnancy, which I think is actually really cool. One day I will definitely be using that because I think that's sick. They also added smart stacks to the Apple Watch, as you could see. It's kind of like how they already do on iOS, but now it's on your watch and it looks really nice. Here's a little look at some of the widgets. You can do check-ins for your workout, so you can let your friends know when your workout has started and ended, which I think is cute, especially if you're like going out for a run by yourself. It's just nice to stay safe. Enhanced GPS positioning. This is showing someone on a boat. We've got translate, double tap, and so much more. So watchOS 11 will work on these watches here. I have the Apple Watch 4, so I definitely need to upgrade my watch at some point soon this year. I really want the 10, so I'm definitely going to be unboxing that. Then they talked about visionOS 2. So this is the first update to Apple Vision Pro's software. It's not too crazy. They mainly just focus on spatial photos and video. So here's how it looks. You can kind of like view photos and it kind of looks more like 3D. You can share them with your friends using SharePlay. The Photos app is also redesigned. So again, just so much focus on this spatial spatial thing. To me, that's kind of crazy. Like this whole Vision Pro, like I'm not rich enough to understand this fully, but yeah, there's new gestures, customize your homepage. You can have panoramic productivity. Again, going into the spatial thing that they've been talking about. This is just crazy looking, honestly. Like I can't wrap my head around it. Have you tried a Vision Pro? Let me know in the comments. They added train support. Now you can use it on a train. I don't know. I don't know. Meditation. Nothing too crazy, but they did cover that. So that is a recap of all the updates. So I'm gonna talk a little bit of like my final thoughts now. I was vibing with all the updates, to be honest. I do think they delivered more than usual, and I do think in general Apple's not just catching up anymore, but they actually are innovating again, which I love to see. I think iOS 18 looks really good. I love the new macOS that's coming out, and everything looks great. I still wish that iOS 18 looked a little different. Like it is going to look different, but that's because they added the ability to customize things. They didn't actually change that much stuff. I just want to see something that I'm like, wow, they really switched it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still pleased overall. I do think all the software updates look great. I love the iMessage features that they added. I love the new Photos app. I love the new Control Center and all the new controls that they added. But once they started getting into the AI or the Apple Intelligence, that was getting overwhelming. I understand AI and I have a good idea of like how it works, but it just starts to get overwhelming because it's so much more complex than what we're used to in tech. And to see Apple go down that realm is different, which I guess is good, but also it's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I just think like tech is just getting so advanced, and this is only the beginning. Like today is the day that Apple has basically announced and made it known that they have their own AI that's going to be in all of their software moving forward. That marks a different era. So while we are talking about like the new updates and the new softwares and all the new features, the biggest thing, as we said in the beginning of this video, is the Apple Intelligence. That is really going to be what propels everything moving forward. It's just it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Like I was chilling, I was vibing, but it's like when you're learning something new, you just get overwhelmed. So after the end of the keynote, I was like, I need to go outside. I need to get some fresh air and I need to get a coffee because that was a lot to take in. Hopefully my recap has helped to explain it for those who haven't or don't have the time to watch 2 hours of Apple. But yeah, I think everything looks good and I am excited for all the new updates. But yeah, the Apple Intelligence thing is pretty crazy. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Apple's keynote this year. What are you most excited for? What were you expecting? Are you surprised? Are you underwhelmed? Are you overwhelmed? Somehow I feel both. That's my recap. By the way, shout out to the Discord because we did have a watch party in there and it was so much fun. So definitely join iBaddy Discord if you're not in there already. Honestly, this did get me excited for iPhone season. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, that will be everything. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I need to go decompress. I will see you guys in the next one and thank you for watching. Bye.